Hi, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Welcome. It's Jamaica Magazine. We've got a great show lined up for you today. We put tourism in the spotlight. Also in the half hour, a topic that never gets stale, money. How is the government of Jamaica addressing matters of the economy? We address those hard-hitting issues with Minister of Finance, Planning and Public Service, Dr. Peter Phillips. All that and so much more in today's show. Please stay with us.
Sweet Jamaica, we nah left ya. Chop yam and banana, we nah left ya.
Finger-licking jerk chicken, Helcher fish and bami, we run down yam and banana, roast breadfruit, sweet potato pudding. Jamaica food sweet. This November is Eat Jamaican Month, so let's make a pledge to use more local produce and less foreign goods. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow.
Sweet Jamaica, we nah left ya.
I heard the government talking about an economic reform program and that we need a fiscal consolidation. Could you explain that for me, please?
We have to spend less and raise more revenues, because that's the only way you get to pay off the debt. You have to place a limit on the amount that you borrow. It don't mean that you won't borrow anything, because that would be too much. We often have to borrow to even pay off some of what is due. But you can't just run it up without limit. And we have to raise more revenues.
Recently, a review team from the IMF gave the thumbs up to Jamaica's performance under its extended fund facility. This comes as the country undergoes an economic reform program to set the nation on a path of growth. How is that progressing? We put that and other critical questions to the Finance Minister, Dr. Peter Phillips, next.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of Issues and Answers. I'm Ian Boyne. Today we have with us the Minister of Finance, Planning and the Public Service, Dr. Peter Phillips. The economy has been showing signs of growth, and there's been a picking up of optimism in the economy. Can this last? Is this just a blip? These are some of the issues we'll put to the Minister. We thank you for your company. Minister, good to have you. The IMF review was positive, quoting from the IMF review. It says, overall policy implementation under the program is strong. All the quantitative performance targets and indicative targets for the end of September were met. All the structural benchmarks to date have also been met in a timely manner. You think this is sustainable, Minister?
Well, you know, we think it's sustainable. We have committed to a program, and we are going to follow through on this program. We committed to the program because we thought it was a program which would accomplish as its central objective the reduction of the unsustainable public debt, which had become a drag on growth and which had the effect of closing Jamaica off, not only from considerable investment, private investment, domestic and foreign investment, but also closing us off from sources of international finance. So we have entered that program. It has involved tremendous sacrifice by everyone, not least the public sector workers, for example, the bondholders holding Jamaican debt, pensioners, all kinds of people, the ordinary taxpayer. And I think if we have the program, what we need to do is to fulfill our commitments under the program so confidence can return. No, it's a hard road to hoe, but we have to go day at a time, month at a time, each quarter, and ensure that we meet the objectives so that we can rebuild confidence and create the environment for a more competitive economy that will once again attract investment and grow employment so that our people can manage to realize their hopes and aspirations.
Minister, people are concerned about the slippage in the Jamaican dollar and where it will end, how far it will go. What attempts are the government making to ensure that our dollar retains its value or doesn't move in the wrong direction? This is a concern people have.
I think it's important to understand that the heart of the problem that you have with the exchange rate is that you have what they call a current account deficit running at about 12.5% of GDP. Well, it's down now over the last few months. But what that means simply is that you are spending more overseas than you are earning. Yeah. And the only way you can
imbalance,
deal with that imbalance is if somebody either gives you money
you earn.
or you earn more or you import less. And the way you regulate the importing less through the market is by having the market determine what is the rate. If you have more people seeking to buy foreign currency than are earning foreign currency and willing to sell it, then you will have these adjustments. Now, we can contain these adjustments to some degree if you were willing to use your reserves to intervene in the market.
Which we have done sometimes.
Which we have done from time to time when the market overheats, so to speak, and you get speculative pressures building up. But you know, if you use your savings every day to finance your current expenditure, then all that means is that you're going to be bankrupt, and you can predict when you will be bankrupt. So you have to decide how you going to spend your savings. If you're going to spend it to just deal with your day-to-day expenditures. So we certainly have to counteract the expenditures, use mechanisms available to us. But the heart of the problem and the only sustainable solution is that we need to earn some more.
Absolutely. There's a productivity issue.
And it will the market to do it. So the market to set it. So as confidence builds, many of the holders of currency will put it into the market or make investments, which is the same thing as putting it into the market. And that involves people at all levels. But that's part of the rub.
Return to talk about inflation. Minister of Finance, Dr. Peter Phillips, spending time with us on Issues and Answers. We take a break.
People are saying that the debt to GDP ratio is about 140%. What does this mean for Jamaica?
If you were to take the value of everything we produced in a single year, all that we earn from tourism, all that we earn from manufacturing, agriculture, all the services that we sell and earn, all the output. If we took the earnings totally and said, let's use it and pay off the debt, let's not eat, let's not do anything else, it could not pay it off.
Plus, for every dollar earned, government spends 55 cents on debt and 25 cents on wages.
The remaining 20 cents in the dollar is what is available to provide for schools, what is available for hospitals, to repair your road, to pay for street lights, to do all the other things.
That's why the government is developing strategies to reduce the $1.7 trillion debt and grow the economy. The goal is to push the debt to GDP ratio down to about 95% by 2020.
Welcome back to Issues and Answers. We're speaking to the Minister of Finance, Planning and the Public Service, Dr. Peter Phillips. Minister, growth has returned to the economy, but bus fares are increasing when people go to supermarkets and shops. Things are increasing every week. What's the point of this growth if people are not feeling it?
Well, the first point is that the inflation rate is within the projected limits, and indeed,
With double digit, no way, 10%?
well, year on year, but it is less than 5% or around 5% for the fiscal year since the program started, and we expected the outturn to be probably around between March and March to be probably around between 8 and 10%. We want to force this down over years, but there's no doubt that the adjustment is a difficult one. The second thing is that we would not see the full effects of growth in 2-3 months coming out of the difficult program, the steep decline in confidence, the absence of resources that was available to us. I mean, if you even plant in corn, it's going to take 6 months to come up, or sorrel or whatever, so that you wouldn't see any immediate impact. All you will see in the near term is where there is underutilized capacity that is ramping up. We hope to see a sustained level of growth in the, over time. We are already seeing some critical sectors holding their own. Tourism, which is showing significant growth. We are seeing in mining and particularly significantly in agriculture, where we are seeing a lot of production replacing imported production, and that is a good thing, because one of the things that happens when you have some of the overvaluation of our own currency is that we incentivize production for other economies rather than for our own. And so what we really want to do is not to incentivize consumption over production, but production over consumption, and consumption will follow behind as more people get employment through production and are able to consume more. So ultimately it will take some time to see this. I am very hopeful that they will continue the growth in the agricultural levels and in mining and tourism, and that we will see an improvement in services such as your ICT services, where we're seeing a lot of increased activity take place. We're making a particular push in the small business sector.
Yes.
Thus far, the DBJ has earmarked $2 billion for this year, and they have already more than 70% in the first 9 months have been on lent. So that those are all very positive developments. We have to nurture this. There is the major infrastructural development that is to get on stream later this year. Then there's the logistics development that we expect to get on stream. Further, the expansion of the activity in the North-South Highway link. We are looking at the integrated resort developments organized around the gaming, and requests for proposals have been sought. And on the energy side, we expect further fillip to come from that, further impetus as we get the installation of additional generating capacity in. That process, as we all know, has been in the news a lot, and we expect it, once it gets settled, to also create the basis for lower electricity rates and further growth. We have had, I've made the point over and over again that between 1970 and the current period, our debt has increased about 600 times, and our and we have grown less than 1% on average. You don't correct 40 years of economic imbalance in 2 months and 3 months. And with all the difficulty, and I am not insensitive to the difficulty that exists, we have to, for the sake of ourselves, our reputation as a people, and the future generations, we have to do the necessary adjustments now that will allow us to fully exercise the responsibilities of an independent nation, which only come when you put people to work and you don't need to rely on other people's savings, but you are able to earn your way in the world. Now, this is, you know, we can spend a lot of time discussing the failures of policy along the way. I don't think there's a lot of value to that. But what we do know is that we have reached the point where we cannot continue to borrow other people's money because they're not lending us.
Thank you very much, Minister. And the facts are showing that the economy is moving.
Well, I always say plus is better than minus in this regard.
Yes, and we have the plus, certainly that's what the International Monetary Fund or external examiners has said. We thank you for joining us for this edition of Issues and Answers, where we have been speaking to the Minister of Finance, Planning and the Public Service, Dr. Peter Phillips. Next week I'll be back. Until then, Ian Boyne wishing you a pleasant day.
I needed help to expand my business, but the banks only wanted to be up in my business. The high interest rates were killing my business. They're never really business with my business.
At the Exim Bank, we have your business needs covered. Our application process is easy, and we provide loans at competitive rates for the productive sector. From renewable energy projects and working capital to plant upgrades or expansion and export financing. Come in and talk to us today. The Exim Bank. On the road to success, you are going to want us in your business.
Bamboo Growers, companies involved in the manufacturing of bamboo products. Get registered with the Bureau of Standards Jamaica. The BSJ is a member of the International Network for Bamboo and Rattan, and the government of Jamaica wants to develop a standard-led bamboo industry that could lead to job creation and economic growth. Companies, your products could be stamped with the regionally recognized Jamaica-made mark certification and the national certification mark. Get registered and receive quality training and international certification. For more information, call the Bureau's Special Projects Department at 926-3140 or visit the BSJ at 6 Winchester Road, Kingston 10.
The fairest isle the eye has ever seen offers a world-renowned tourism product, a tourism offering the government maintains by implementing a number of safety and security initiatives. Coming up, the Ministry of Tourism and Entertainment preserving a secure environment for local and international tourists.
Improving the mobility of those who serve and protect. Beautifying the elegant corridor of the country's tourism capital. And tackling harassment head-on. Through the Tourism Enhancement Fund, the Tourism and Entertainment Ministry is helping the government achieve its mission to improve security and safety for every Jamaican and those who visit our shores.
Tourism and crime and violence do not coexist.
Indeed, the continued success of Jamaica's tourism sector depends on the country's ability to provide a safe and secure environment for our visitors. As such, the Tourism Ministry has taken a number of steps to improve security for visitors while promoting the country as a safe destination. To help improve security, the Tourism Enhancement Fund, TEF, provided $91 million for the National Security Ministry in October 2013. The money will be used to improve mobility on land and at sea. Of the amount, $45 million was used to acquire additional motor vehicles to facilitate effective monitoring and enforcement by the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
$40 million for the Marine Police, which goes towards ensuring that there are vessels in in all the harbors.
That TEF disbursement also covered the cost of JCF to provide enhancement and educational support to the Montego Bay Marine Park and Fish Sanctuaries.
The partnership that the Ministry of National Security has enjoyed with the Ministry of Tourism and Entertainment has been an outstanding one.
Over the last 2.5 years, the TEF has approved grants in excess of $8.5 million for projects geared towards strengthening the capacity of the JCF in the resort areas. Additionally, the Montego Bay Hills Police Station in St. James was recently refurbished at the cost of $6 million. The TEF, an agency of the Ministry of Tourism and Entertainment, is mandated to undertake projects for the improvement of the country's tourism product. It is financed through a tourism enhancement fee, which is paid by incoming airline and cruise ship passengers. This fiscal year, the ministry has also undertaken another major project in the second city. Montego Bay's elegant corridor is to be properly illuminated. Additional lighting is to be provided for the 27-kilometer stretch, which connects some 15 hotels, allowing for easier and safer access. The project should cost $400 million, and the installation of the LED lights is to start soon. Over in Negril, the Tourism Ministry is constructing bicycle tracks and pedestrian pathways along a 6-kilometer roadway located between the roundabout and the aerodrome on the Norman Manley Boulevard. This improvement will encourage greater visitor mobility and safety. The work is slated for completion by April 2014 and it should cost $170 million. Maintaining a safe environment where tourists are free from harassment, that's the ultimate goal of the Anti-Harassment Tourism Courtesy Corps, a group of special officers who ensure no one bothers our visitors. Smartly attired in bandana outfits, they play this important role in several resort areas, including Montego Bay, Ocho and New Kingston. Results have been positive so far. Tourism interests say Ocho has seen a marked reduction in tourist harassment. Addressing a recently held annual general meeting of the St. Anne Chamber of Commerce, former President Kumar Sujanani said the reports of harassment have dropped. Though he did not provide figures, Mr. Sujanani said the improvement was due to the work of the police, with support from the Tourism Ministry and the business sector. As the Portia Simpson Miller administration continues to strive for developed nation status by 2030, the Ministry of Tourism and Entertainment, through its affiliates, is helping to improve security and safety, government's third strategic priority for this fiscal year.
This example of joined-up government is really the start of a true integrated, multidisciplinary approach to improving citizen security. That is the direction that the government is committed to, policy-wise.
We in tourism understand that we also have to be part of this, and we have determined that we are going to play our role in joining with our partnership in the Ministry of National Security to ensure that we can do everything that we can to fight this scourge of crime and violence.
Sometimes it's hard, but try and you'll make it. Believe you me.
Hi, I'm Jerome Bennett, OCR Jingle winner for the age group 14 to 17. As the OCR Jingle winner, it is my duty to help the OCR encourage the children of Jamaica to report child abuse and talk out. Child abuse can report it to the OCR at 1-888-PROTECT, especially during Youth Month, where the OCR encourages all Jamaicans to help us help protect children. Thank you.
Your eyes on the prize. So as part of your plan, you feel your ambition, and the Almighty One as your foundation. Hey, nobody get rich.
The beauty of a free market economy is the wide range of goods and services offered to the bank public. As consumers, we can make the best choices by staying informed. It is this information that helps to protect us from unfair treatment and bad deals in the marketplace, so know your rights and responsibilities as a consumer. The Consumers Affairs Commission, CAC, is the agency established by law to ensure fair treatment on both sides of the fence. The newly improved Consumer Protection Act empowers the CAC to better protect consumers, giving us the right to redress and compensation for misrepresentation, shoddy goods, or poor service. Consumers have the right to safety and protection against hazardous goods and services, the right to be informed and protected against fraudulent or misleading information, and the right to accurate information. But as consumers, we also have responsibilities, like ensuring we get all the facts available about a product or service. It's also our responsibility to speak out when there's a problem. Let's do our part to help preserve fair trade, to promote the goal to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub.
A topical subject on the minds of many Jamaicans. What exactly is the Jamaica Logistics Hub initiative?
Logistics is the process by which businesses manage the flow of goods, services, people, information, energy, and other resources through the entire supply chain from source to end users.
The various components of the hub will allow Jamaica to capitalize on the increased trade expected to flow through the region when the Panama Canal expansion is completed in 2016.
We are not saying by that all of the project would have been finished. We are saying that there's a core set of projects and programs that must be implemented.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub, a plan in action to increase trade and grow the economy.
We are men with a message, and the youth them need to hear this.
We know everything about Thug Life.
Been there, done that.
Prison and a nice place, stay in school.
Serious thing we tell you.
And a joke thing this. You can't tell me about hungry.
That's no excuse.
Leave the badness alone. Nobody narrate you.
Them just afraid of you. Live positive, remember.
A gang is a dead end.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Words of civil rights leader Martin Luther King, reminding us that love conquers all. And that's where we close the pages of Jamaica Magazine for today. Join us tomorrow on this station. We'd love to hear from you, so send us a tweet at JIS News or send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. Be sure to click on our homepage, jis.gov.jm, to get the latest information on matters of development. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Have yourselves a great week.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.